Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ L7, and tonight, look, I'm not going to really make this overblown and long. I just want to put this publicly out there, and I want y'all to know, how I really feel about this situation. So the fact of that matter is that Diane Sare is running again, I think in 2024 to take on Gillibrand, and Diane Sare is a really hard worker, and I really like her a lot. It's just a fact. I mean, I do, right? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that, your friends are perfect or people in leadership positions are perfect. It's possible that these people can make mistakes. Now, I'm not sure that Diane Sare is really wholly on board with all the stuff that's going on. I think she's getting pressured from some people in her organization. I'm not going to mess them up, like they've probably done other positive things for the organization. So they got to make a judgment call. But let me tell you what some things that really concern me about the Larouchians and just honestly that whole sphere going beyond the Larouchians, including a lot of the, I'm going to say armchair white socialists and communists and stuff like that. So the fact of the matter is that you'll see like a lot of these people out here, and they will be saying like there will be like these white groups of communists that say things like the Cultural Revolution never happened. And they say this without actually interacting or talking to actual Chinese people. I know so many Chinese people. I know the Cultural Revolution definitely happened. There's so many like old people that I met who were just all messed up from it. There's no way it didn't happen. There's so much anger, and it really kind of redefined a whole generation and has lingering effects to this very day. There's so many older people with mental issues that are going on from the abuse that happened during the Cultural Revolution, paranoia, fear. It really affected a whole generation. I'm not sure what the Larouchi's take on that is, but the recent events in China, and I'm not saying like, maybe the CCP does some good things, and, but the fact of the matter is that once again, right, like I offered them, right, with my unique level of experience, activism, look at what I've accomplished, right? The only third party and independent candidate forums in 2021, which Diane Sare took part in. I also did the Unified Platform in 22, another thing that Diane Sare took part in, and I welcome her. And I once again want to, this isn't just cutting her down, you know what I mean? She has participated in Assange things for a long time. She was also at the Wall Street Bets. And I've watched her over time. She's constantly working, talking to organizations. I appreciate her for that, and nothing can take away her work on the ground and her hard work. But I am very concerned about the fact that, right, I was at the FTX protest. Once again, instead of working ever in the way that her people treated me there, I mean, where they just kind of like looked at what I was doing, and instead of inviting me to be a brother or inviting me into like, fellowship with them, they they just camped out. They just set up somewhere else, and just I didn't feel really cared for, or there was a lot of suspicion, and from some of the younger people that I just felt was undeserved. Right? If you watch the FTX protest, you'll see that blonde kid. He's like, oh, he pretended like he didn't know who I was. He obviously was concerned though, right? Yeah, he's getting signals from like maybe not Diane, but from other leadership that he's not supposed to talk to me. Whatever, just stop it, okay? Just stop it. You know what I mean? Your Bretton Woods thing is a good idea, but I'm not saying it's perfect. Once again, the nuclear, I know you all really love nuclear power. It might be the solution. But really, right, there's also a fact that we see a lot of times when government tries to get things done, they screw it up. Now, the thing is that, right, I think the Lucians have a lot of good contributions that they can really give to the rest of the political space. They have a lot of you know, strong commitment to the issues, and I really like them so much. But, right, the fact of the matter is that when you come to like making, I understand you were talking to leaders all over the world. Props to you for that. You know what I mean? But what about your right Asian American allies over here? And once again, right, yeah, y'all brought Jackson Hinkle to speak at your leadership conference, and then okay, so you could say whatever you want, but Nick Brana has been shown, right, with evidence to have stolen like $20,000 and spend it on spend it on, a logo, very questionable things. Half of his appointed board resigned, but just a sniff of a little bit of extra press for you, you know what I mean? And then y'all run and you put him right into your mainstream, world forum with other world leaders. I mean, what the? And y'all and from day one, y'all was always like, Jose Vega, like I've contacted him. I talked to him on the phone. He's like, yo, Ed, I'm a fan. I said, yo, I'm a fan of you. I seen you on the ground from years ago. You are definitely dedicated to this, and you're gonna be in. I have to respect it. But right now, you know what I mean? He's really avoiding me. The leadership said, we're gonna make a choice. We're gonna go the Jimmy Dore route. We're gonna sell out DJL7. Prove me wrong. All you gotta do, right? So the things that when I met Dan Burke in person, right? Yeah. He said, oh, I don't talk to you because you're always getting high and shit. But that's okay. But Caleb Maupin encouraging his underlings to, get into, to bankrupt them, tell them to just sell buttons on the streets, right, for $5, and then expect them to make a living off of selling buttons like this for $5, and then make a living off that, and you have like 3-4 people traveling together. It's not gonna work. And then after that, he took one of the ladies and encouraged, two separate ladies, encouraged them to go into prostitution, and then actually avail themselves of his services after he had, encouraged them to go into financial debt and hardship. Nick Brana, right? Half his board resigned, and then you're putting him into the World Leadership Conference. But because I smoke some weed once in a while, right? That's your priorities right there. And why? Because Caleb Maupin has some followers, right? Because Nick Brana has maybe access to the Jimmy Dore crowd. So you're willing to overlook all of that. But once in a while I smoke some weed, so fuck Ed Lee. Fuck DJL7. What about the involvement of Korea as in terms of like the possibility for nuclear launch, you know what I mean, is imminent, but I brought it up to them and then, Diane was like, oh, it's not going to happen. How do you know? How do you know without talking to people like I haven't seen nobody really from Korea on your panel yet. I've seen nothing. So look, no one's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, yeah? You're going to get some things wrong. You're going to get some things right. But the question is, when the leadership gets something wrong, or maybe, I mean, I really don't think I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can prove it, right? Can they have a dialogue with me, or in general, or is there a way for people who are on the ground, right, with working hand on the knowledge, more primary, like, level experience, right, yeah, actually interacting with stuff, do they get a say in the whole process, and is this taking care of the workers? Now, Diane Sare does a lot of work. Helga Zapp Larouche, I know she was the wife of Larouche. I know she's very influential. She's in Europe. And I know this is probably very controversial. This is considered blasphemy or whatever, right? Yeah. Whatever politics y'all got going on. But still, right, yeah, I'm not saying that, maybe she's done a lot of contributions. She works hard, like from her office and stuff. That's cool. I'm not trying to cut her down. I'm sure she has some good things, but there has to be some process or some way for other people to get like things reviewed. Like, why is this guy who's been helping Diane Sare for so long, who's obviously a possible very strong ally for you, DJL7, with relevant things to say about Korea, right? Maybe his experience with talking to other Asian Americans for a long time, China, blah, 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 right? Maybe it would be cool to get his even once, but instead you're pushing Jackson Hinkle, a 20-year-old who's actually pushing, financial vehicles on his site, like telling people where to stash their 401k. The dude's a freaking Graham fucking Steffens in the making, a Kevin O'Leary in the making. This smells just so much like FTX. It smells like it. Nick Brown is stealing money, and he's presenting at your latest event. Hey, look, everybody makes mistakes. I hope y'all can fix that. Y'all have some good things to say, but honestly, it's really kind of, and this is, I'm not going to say this is like unique to Larouchies. It's honestly true for the Democrats, Republicans, Greens, Libertarians. This kind of garbage happens in every single party. A certain group, a little circle gets into like, the influence and the power, and they kind of really start to become closed off to the rest of, reality. And it's all about them. And they start, engaging in, trading off one part of the community for another. And people who don't deserve stuff get promoted. And, I don't expect it to be perfect. It'll happen a little bit, right? But there's got to be some kind of process. And if I'm personally affected by this shit, there's no way I'm going to take this lying down. You know what I mean? So, look, once again, right? Yeah, there's people out there who want to cancel Republicans, cancel Democrats, cancel Squad. People want. I'll say the Squad does some good work too, right? Yeah, Jamal Bowman has helped us with um, disabilities issues for real. Okay, some public housing stuff has gone. He's somewhat. I could have done more for it, but he's still talking to us. That's a plus. You know what I mean? For real, appreciate that. Yeah. So look, I mean, out of all the groups that's, look, all the stuff that I do is kind of similar to the Larouchies. I mean, I really love y'all a lot. I really do. Y'all treating me kind of like, as far as maybe y'all feel different. I mean, just hit me off it. Let me know, yeah? Hit me up. I know y'all watch it, but let me. Hey, look, I don't expect a lot of things to get right. A lot of things I agree with you on, for real, yeah? But this thing about the exclusion, right? Maybe I do smoke a little bit, honestly, I've been through a lot. You guys know about it. Y'all been through so much stuff too. I've been a vocal, like, advocate for yours on the street, on Wall Street, when we was at that protest. I went to FDR's freaking house with y'all. I spent my money buying a banner. I spent my money, right, buying a present for the ambassador from Malawi, right? Yeah, who attended your event, and props to you for that, right? And I see a lot of African countries coming up and begging you for help, right? Malawi, and there was another one that showed up, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you at least talking to them, but I see all y'all really talking about is Ukraine and Russia. And, just disregarding, that there has to be, if you want to work with coalition, and if you have to do something for your partners. So, I'm trying to, like, settle this for myself, right? I really feel like y'all are throwing me under the bus. Y'all are like, oh, we got like the possible Jimmy Dore, like he's talking about it. Oh, yeah. You said if you're gonna sell me out for that, right? Who's gonna get sold out next? I want to know. So look, y'all. Some people in the LaRouche crowd are still talking to me. Maybe y'all don't want to believe it, okay? I have people that like me, and I still like LaRouche, and I'm gonna say I'm not afraid to say. I know a lot of other people are. Jimmy Dore, you know what I mean? He's not ready yet, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? And Jackson Hinkle really ain't got your back like I do. I've already have several interviews with Diane Sare, and honestly, Jackson Hinkle's just kind of immature. There, I said it right. Yeah, maybe we could even. And by the way, I put Larry Elgin in one of my videos that's right now on the title screen of my channel right there. He's dead right now, shamed by Diane, shamed by Nick Brana. So really, there's dead people that are involved in this that are waiting for that will never get justice. No, he could get justice if there's an acknowledgement of the situation and his name is restored and he's celebrated for the work that he did. Larry Elgin was the Justice News Network was a link on my site from day one of my website. Day one. Larry Elgin was a close friend who was part of the Power Anthem Network as well. Maybe that means nothing to y'all. I mean, come on, Diane, you've been part of the LaRouche movement for a long time. I'm sure you know other people from the LaRouche crowd who have died. And, look at how hard y'all fight for LaRouche. Right? You want him exonerated after he's dead. Y'all want justice for, someone who's dead, and I get that. Can you understand my disappointment and, the casualness of throwing away Larry Elgin, which Jackson Hinkle benefited from if y'all investigate the shit? But am I just have no value to have my shit investigated. There's plenty of evidence on the web. Plenty of evidence about Nick Bronner's theft. Plenty. Plenty. So smoking weed, right? It's like Sam Frank Bankman-Fried, right? Yeah, steal billions of dollars more than Enron, and then you're speaking at the World Summit, right? Yeah, XT at New York Times. You know what I mean? Smoke some weed, right? Yeah, and you're in jail or prison, right? You're banned. Steal thousands of dollars, right? Yeah, you're promoted, or you're meeting with the world leaders. Have sexual, get half your board has to be kicked out, and your dad's on the board with one of the few board members that's still supporting Bronner. How sus is that, right? Yeah, and you're invited to the big show. How does any reasonable person resolve this? Diane, please. Yeah, please call me. Please send me email, something. Yeah? Look, I want to believe you put in a lot of work and you deserve, right, to be recognized for that. Straight up. A lot of these other candidates do not do that. They go off on these bullshit trips, or they are not working as hard as you, and I really respect that. And I really respect that you've been on the ground when it's cold out. All these things. Yeah, I really love that so much. And there's like even Suzanne, she's not the most pleasant person, y'all know what I'm talking about, but she's a warrior. She goes out, and I respect that. For real. Dewey, you know I love y'all, you know what I mean? Come on. What is this shit? So, look, I'm really torn about this shit. I still end up endorsing, Sare, and I really kind of gave, the Libertarians maybe a little bit stronger endorsement, but not really. Yeah. But how can I do this after sold out? Because I get sold out by everybody. Because we're politically weak, and the laws of the weak must be persecuted. But I'm here to stand for the weak. I'm here to fight for the weak. I'm fight for the small people. So, and so many times I've seen, right? Because everybody, right, thinks, oh, it's just this one time, but they don't realize that everybody made the same decision as them to fuck me over. Yeah, think about that one, right? You thought about it. You didn't think about how, as reasonable as was for you to fuck me over, how everybody else makes the same fucking decision. All right. All right. But that means that, I've seen this go down many times, and I know what happens next. After I'm poofed out, right? Yeah, and other people think that they're not going to get whacked by it, they get whacked by it. And who goes down? People with disabilities, the LGBTQ community, right? Yeah, people that are just not right as accepted by society. All the weak ones are taken out. This happened to MPP, right? Yeah. Look at what's his name? The guy from Our Revolution, LA, Jerry Perez. He stuck around. You know, I mean, he thought that, he had all these famous people with him. He thought, it was going to work out. And at the end, in his interview with the Vanguard, he said, "I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier." Yeah. Okay. I am quite politically experienced, and I'm not going to call. Y'all know it's true, okay? Larouchians, right? Yeah. I'm not cutting you down on any random thing, right? Yeah, that's what Dan Burke's doing. He's like, reaching, oh my God, I got to cut down with Ed with something. I got to make him look bad. I don't like Ed, so I'm going to choose something, right? Yeah. And I'm going to look for something and magnify it out of proportion. Meanwhile, there's clear evidence, right? Yeah, that much worse crimes are going on. By the way, Nick Bronner has done criminal things to me. Criminal. Now, Dan's like, you said the wrong way. Yeah, good fucking truth. Shut up, man. I'll smack you, man. You're wet, bro. I didn't actually smack you. I told you I'm willing to work with you. You know what I mean? Honestly, but you're kind of a herb, man. Now you coming out to events. I've never seen you at that Sun stuff, man. I know. I've seen Diane, Sare. I've seen Suzanne. There's that other guy. I forgot his name. I gotta see him. Yeah, Dewey's coming out more recently. Maybe you've done good work with the youth program, but honestly, I've seen the way you treat kids here. You're really arrogant. Your teaching style is, you know what I mean? You're sucking them in with your older authority and stuff like that. And I'm a damn good tutor, to tell you the truth, yeah? I'm no dummy. By the way, also, let me just show, let me just capture this on evidence just before it goes away, because, yeah, let's take a look. Because this one is going to be hilarious. So, Daniel Burke, okay. There's a lot of other receipts I could show, but you know, like, this is for a small crowd right here. So y'all already probably know this stuff. Daniel Burke. Oh, okay, Ballotopedia. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So look, I really don't have a lot more to say. Yeah. Look, otherwise, like the Bretton Woods thing sounds like a decent idea. The nuclear power could be good, and there's a lot of reasons for it to work. You know, if things are done responsibly, I think they make some pretty decent arguments. The other stuff, I think Helga LaRouche wants some kind of a you know, COVID lockdown type of or some kind of mandate vaccine thing. That's on her. You know what I mean? There's you're allowed to have different opinions, sure. You know, I mean, I know some people from the other side that are from both sides that are very, you know, have strong opinions on this, but you know, I think that's fair. You know, I think there should be a diversity of opinions, right? Other than that, really, what else does LaRouche stand for? Fighting against global warfare, stuff like that. Yeah, I think they went a little bit too hard with the going pro-Russian, pro-China. Honestly, like there was like yay Putin, yay, you know, Belt and Road, maybe right, yeah, and not really. Once again, right, yeah, paying attention a little bit more to other sources for information. They think they know it all a little bit too much, maybe, right? And from their ivory towers, yeah. And even though, you know, I say the Diane Sare is a worker on the ground, you know, she's pounding, you know, event after event, you know, she is going, you know what I mean? I don't really, once again, right, in her clique, getting Jackson Hinkle and Caleb Maupin, you know, Dan Burke talks about the Anglo-American oligarchy. That's really what he's assembled with Caleb Maupin and Jackson Hinkle. Their level of people say, ooh, Caleb Maupin has so much more credibility than you because what? Because he met with some Iran leader. I've met people too, okay? I could start naming names, you know what I mean? I've been doing this a long ass time and I'm not lazy, as you could clearly see. Caleb Maupin, does he have even material with Diane? Has he? I know he appeared at CPI, right? Yeah, and he can fill a room with some people that are young and maybe, you know, exploitable. Yeah. There's a lot of unfortunate exploitation going on in the political field. And, you know, that's another kind of a top-down move. That's kind of a dick move. And, you know, you might think that you're winning doing that, but from being in the class of the exploited with other disability people and LGBTQ people and homeless people and poor people, and, you know, always being disregarded, that definitely builds up resentment quick, real quick, yeah? This kind of behavior. So really, it's the silent treatment from them. They've gone to the Jimmy Dore route, and I don't think that that's really sustainable very long because the Nick Brana thing, right? Yeah, all I got to do is email every single world leader at the conference and say, look, at this is Nick Brana. Why is he there? I don't even have to do it. There's so many people that Nick Brana pissed off within the MPP, right? Hundreds of petitioners, the whole UPA, you know, who also reported that there was $20,000 or $30,000 a month going towards the MPP, which was being used to set up, you know, for his little clique of staff that he was paying that was not elected at all or anything like that. There's a huge trail of problems, including, right, Jonathan Martin, one of the food persons of third parties in the nation, Our Revolution LA, myself, there's Renee Johnston, now Zainab Day, and there's actually 7 generations of different leadership of MPP, right? Yeah, that have quit and identified Nick Brana as being a problem. So there's a huge level of resentment in a large community. That's why y'all were sent over to Texas, by the way, and tried to inject, right? Yeah, CPI and you know, the Larouchian community into taking over, right? Yeah, and bolstering up. I'm not stupid. Yeah, into bolster up the People's Party in a manipulative attempt to do some bullshit. You know, I mean, you're not fooling anybody. And, you know, not everybody's as open and as transparent as myself. You know, I mean, they try to be little slick, super political people, but there's a lot of resentment there. So, you know what I mean? Nick Brana, wow. Damn. I mean, the Caleb Maupin's bad enough. Now you're doubling down. You're betting on that shit? You know what I mean? Damn, okay. I mean, why'd you have to bring him in? Well, you know, Jimmy Dore is actually playing the videos of Jose Vega, right? Yeah, he's not mentioning the Larouchians like that, but maybe on the side you can benefit off of that. Wow. Wow. Well, all the communities I work with, right? Yeah, they have some good things to them. Yeah, I'm not going to take away, but, you know, you really have to, I definitely encourage you all to do a little bit more investigation before you jump on the Sare bandwagon. And if you work with the Larouchians, they work with some with a you know, broad spectrum, a lot of international people, so, and respect to them for that. But you know, there are some opportunities available, yeah. But, you know, just like I've been in the music industry, so a lot of people know that, you know, getting a record contract, they think it's a great deal, and, you know, you find out that it's really not. You know, you signed your life away, and, you know, that's why I don't sign NDAs and shit like that either. I'm hip to the game now. I'm an experienced cat. I'm not easily to exploit. I know my worth. I really do. I've definitely worked more than Nick Brana. There's no question about that. Yeah, I mean, well, for y'all, right? Yeah, Jimmy Dore is coming on board. Jimmy Dore is desperate to get back in New York. So the minority community, you know, I'm strong with them. I show up for their events, right? I was there at today's event for the CCP protest. You know what I mean? The Chinese community, they see me around. The Korean community sees me around. The Black community sees me around. The Spanish community. I just did a did another show on them. You know, I know you guys are contacting them. You know, you guys are watching to see who I work with, and you're contacting them on your own. And you think you're real slick. Dan Burke, is that how you got through Harvard? Copying off your friend's paper, off your Asian American friend's paper? Yeah, okay. Guess what? Get in line, bro. You know what I mean? But remember, when you follow me, I can easily set a trap then. So go ahead, follow me. I mean, you'll do it. You know, you think you're the first? You're not, bro. You know, I really don't want to do that. It's really, we could be friends. We should be friends. Stop. Get over yourself, bro. You gotta win this shit. It's not about you, motherfucker. Step back. Step the fuck back, bro. You know what I mean? You're making me your enemy for what, right? Because you're gonna get the Jimmy Dore's gonna fuck you too. Look at who's Breaking Points don't work with him no more. Combo Couch really not doing so much with it. They probably still doing a little bit. I want to see that, yeah? There's a lot of the people that he used to work with really kind of distancing themselves from him now. So Jimmy Dore needs allies. Maybe he'll mess with y'all. Behind the scenes he is, but he's not going to come out really straightforward. And y'all know this already, right? Yeah? Y'all had your hopes. So, look, we're here in New York. Jimmy Dore's from California, and Jackson Hill's in California. At least Caleb Moffin's here. I'm not saying, once again, right, I'm here to take care of all the people that throw him in the trash. And honestly, after sexually abusing his workers and stuff, I'm not about throwing people in the trash. I've worked with people that have committed murders and shit. I'm working with people, you know, like in the prison system, people that have been locked up. I'm here for forgiveness. I'm not here to kick out Caleb. But to raise him to a leadership position? No. That's the mistake. This favoritism, corruption, non-accountability, non-transparency, making excuses and promoting people that don't deserve it. That's exactly right. That needs to be solved. So I know Dan Burke's probably very powerful in the organization. He may even have an in with Helga Zapp, right? Maybe that's why, you know, he's able to throw things in this way or that way, you know what I mean? And I'm not here to really, you know, be unfair to y'all, right? I gave you guys a lot of positives, and that's what I'll just continue to say straight up, you know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with it, right? Because y'all don't deserve to just be effed over and be unfair. So that's just the way I see it, and I really would like to start having a dialogue with y'all again. Once again, I've invited y'all on my show to talk a little bit more about Only Diane Sare's Come On, right? You see me on the FTX, right, protests, and one of the principals off camera, like, she's like, oh, I'm like scared to go on. I'm like, you're a performer, right? Yeah, don't tell me you have stage fright. It doesn't make any sense. If you really believe in this cause, you're out there at the protest. You're out there to tell people about what's going on, but you're afraid to be on the. Does that make sense to you? You're afraid to be on the camera. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't really make that much sense to me. People are different, whatever. I'll accept it. Okay. But then you also look at Jose Vega's never come on my show, even though I asked him. He said he was a fan, not coming on. Dewey's not coming on my show. Someone has at the organization, right? It's obvious. Mike Campbell, whatever his name is, yeah, Issa, right? Yeah. I've asked them all, even Diane Sare, you know personally, you've encouraged people to come on my program and do what is it? The you know why Sare, right? Yeah, I was trying to run that for you, but no one participated, Diane, right? You have your ideas, and then your entourage around you, they have their own plots and devices. Yeah, I've seen that before too. So maybe even your husband, right? Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't think he likes me either. I mean, whatever. Yeah. Hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you got a lot of other relationships that's going on that you got to take care of. So I get it. You know what I mean? You can't abandon your people, and that's one of the tough things about being a leader. I get that. So the leadership always has to fuck me over, yeah? I'm the fucking expendable, tradable asset. Always. Y'all really ain't the first. You really are not, right? Yeah, so. Look, it's really sad and disappointing, but, you know, it's not like I'm heartbroken and all lost. Like, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I do. That's how I learned to deal with all this shit, right? Yeah? To throw myself into the work. So do it and make me work harder. The pain will just drive my urgency. that's really all I have to say tonight about that situation. So, yeah, let's go on to other stuff. There's a lot more exciting things coming down the chute. I'm not going to spend too much time weeping and crying over an organization that decided to throw me away. Right? Yeah. Same thing's happening with what's his name? The leaders, right? Yeah, they don't like the fact that they don't like someone who's going to hold them accountable or ask uncomfortable questions. This is true in many organizations, but I'm there to do that. So I'm not there to just do that, by the way. I have a lot of things to offer, and I've offered them, and I've provided them. So, but y'all think Caleb Maupin and Jackson Hinkle are worth more than me? Whatever. Okay. All right, that's it. I really don't have much else to say, yeah? Oh, one last thing, yeah. Y'all got it. Look, maybe y'all still holding position with this China thing, but hopefully this latest, if you look at the protest footage, it's significant. Okay? I hope that at least, right, maybe says, you know what? Maybe we should actually, consult some more, older Asian Americans like, DJL7, who's a unique voice, versus Caleb Maupin and Jackson Hinkle are very similar. They're not that far off. Haas, right? Yeah. It's like their little circle, their little, echo chamber, as it were, right? Do you need to just have the complete echo chamber in there, or are you ready to bring in some other voices and hear what's going on? I want to know. And I would love to get an explanation. Watch. I've been asking for a long time. There is no explanation. There's no response. They're just running away. Prove me wrong. I invite anybody from the Larouchian community, right, to come on my channel and have a conversation about some of the stuff that's going on and to explain this. Yeah, there is no explanation. There's none. So maybe there is, right? Oh, yeah, we saw Dan Burke say it, right? Oh, because you're always high all the time. You must be high messing with Nick Brana, the proven thief. Half the board resigns, right, over sexual assault allegations, and Caleb Maupin, who's out there spanking people and making them into prostitutes and then availing himself of their services. That's, would you rather have that? And by the way, right, Caleb, Dan, aren't you working with the youth of the LaRouche? Oh, this is getting really dirty. This is getting really disturbing, man. You don't want that kind of weird sexual, enablement of predatory behavior going on around children, man. That's real bad. I hope that there's a review of Dan Burke's, position as in terms of, and maybe the kids are going to try to stand by their teacher, whatever. I get it. But I think there needs to be a review of, I know Dan Burke's really the one who's been pushing for this Caleb Maupin Jackson Hinkle angle. It's all over. Just type in Caleb Maupin and Dan Burke, yeah? Y'all know what I'm talking about if you're in the LaRouche crowd. You know, yeah. I'm not trying to throw Dan Burke away, by the way. Yeah? But there has to be some accountability. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Got some videos to work on.